Chinese internet users mock Trump tariffs with AI videos of American sweatshops. Jesus Christ. Let's go and jump to this immediately. This is a suggestion via Discord, guys.
Showing signs the Trump tariffs are already starting to take their toll in the US and China. So which of the world's two largest economies is better prepared to deal with the trade war? CNN's Christy Lou Stout joins us now live from Hong Kong with some answers. Good to see you again, Christy. So how much pain...
Hey guys, you at least have to show at least one or two of the videos.
...can the people of China handle in the event of a long tariff war with the US?
Rosemary, with the United States and China locking horns over tariffs, an economic pain war is underway. And experts say that China has the capacity to endure it. Watch this.
Who are these experts? I want to hear I mean, listen, don't get me wrong here. They generally are the ones who are building the things, right? But I want to know who these experts are. You can't just say experts say.
This will be a fast war.
The battle at Lake Changjin is one of China's biggest ever blockbusters. Commissioned by the Chinese government, it glorifies the Chinese soldiers who fought American troops in the Korean War. Fast forward to today, and China and the U.S. are locking horns in another epic battle.
China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
Be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end.
Trump started this war with China, aiming in part to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. Chinese netizens mock the idea with AI-generated videos showing a post-tariffs world of dingy American factories with downcast workers. Decades of trade have brought
Of course, we got to be fed. I think that's the prerequisite for the videos. Number one, I'm guessing the prompt was like fat Americans in sweatshop. That was probably the prompt, guys.
bumper profits to both countries. And as U.S.-China trade withers, fortunes are turning. In the U.S., the price of goods could shoot up, fueling inflation and putting the U.S. at real risk of recession. And in China, a prolonged trade war could put countless factories out of business.
It's happening already. Like, just be fully aware. Like, I mean, if you follow specifically the super uber rich in China right now, you'll start to kind of instantly realize that they are starting to no longer purchase some of these gigantically expensive items. Why? Because most people that are making the most money are generally the ones who are in manufacturing and exporting. Guys, right? So we are definitely seeing a gigantic downturn specifically in that realm of things. When the richest people stop buying the most expensive things, there's an issue. I mean, I get it. This network obviously hates America, it seems, based off of a couple of the things we're hearing, the tone at least. They seem very happy the downturn that's happening here, guys. But keep in mind, of course, we're going to experience some hardships, guys. That's the reality of this scenario, guys. We've gotten to the point where we have imported everything. Basically, we import nearly everything. We need to get out of that specific structure. How can a country persist for another 1,000 years if we do not even make anything? We allow other people to make it while we're enriching them. How? Guys, we have to bring manufacturing back home. But they seem not to want to hear that.
The question is, how much pain can the people of China handle in the event of a long trade war with the U.S.?
I think the pain threshold is probably higher for Chinese society. The Chinese government, being an authoritarian government, may have its own advantage because it can more easily allocate resources.
The Chinese have endured famine, the Cultural Revolution, and more recently, 3 years of strict COVID-19 lockdowns before protesters bravely took to the streets. And in this trade war, pain is already being felt. On social media, Chinese factory owners post images of their products piling up in warehouses, while workers show how machines and production lines are not even working. Down.
Right.
Despite a dire economic forecast, many patriotic entrepreneurs are standing firm.
Even if the tariffs increase to 500%, I'm not afraid. Please rest assured, we can hold on.
Stop all the orders. Stop all the export orders. I will not chicken out.
We can give up the U.S. market. I can let this batch of orders rot in the warehouse. We must give up illusions and prepare for struggle. For China.
In the battle at Lake Changjin.
Hey, listen, I respect it. I mean, I do not expect another sovereign nation to just back down immediately. Right? I don't expect that. I'm definitely glad that they at least feel the way that they feel. I respect that. That's not the overall sentiment, because CNN basically, what does the C forward stand for in CNN? I don't know, guys. Feels like propaganda we're encountering. Go be honest here. But either way, I expect another sovereign nation to absolutely stand strong in the face of another country attempting to dominate them. That makes all the sense in the world, guys. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see how that could be an issue. But that's definitely not the sentiment coming out of China. Like, they handpicked that, guys. They did.
U.S. soldiers are seen gorging on Thanksgiving turkey, while Chinese troops chew frozen potatoes in the trenches. Yet, they still beat the Americans later. Trump's trade war pits the U.S. and China in a new challenge of resilience that's not about business or money. It's about honor and national pride.
Like, she's just sitting there watching it, smiling.
Look, China is putting on a brave face, but China is indeed starting to feel the pain from Donald Trump's tariff war. In fact, new economic data out this week on Wednesday said that for the month of April, factory activity in China has fallen faster than expected. On top of that, international banks have slashed growth forecasts for the year for China. China has also been dealing with a myriad of economic challenges at home, including high youth unemployment, rising local government debt, a prolonged property crisis, etc. But China, again, putting a brave face forward. We're seeing that with the new propaganda push out this week with social media videos saying that China, quote, won't kneel to U.S. tariffs. So China is digging in for a protracted and painful battle ahead.
Remember I mentioned propaganda, bro? I think she's being paid by them.
Right. Our thanks to Christy Lou Stout bringing us that incredible report.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Earlier, I spoke with Rana Fruha, CNN's global economic analyst and associate editor for the Financial Times. I asked her if there's any basis at all for blaming Joe Biden for this poor economic growth.
We came in to this administration in the best recovery, post-COVID recovery in the rich world. I mean, people were dying to have our recovery. Within 100 days, President Trump has managed to turn it into what is almost certainly, by most Wall Street analysts' assumptions, going to be a recession by the second or third quarter of this year. Everything from the trade wars to the market crash to the general uncertainty of not knowing whether what you're hearing today is going to hold tomorrow has just put an absolute dampener on business, on trade, and on consumer spending. So hard to argue that this isn't about Trump.
Well, let's hear some alternative facts then from White House trade advisor Peter Navarro.
Alternative facts? Shouldn't facts be facts regardless of emotions, guys? What's going on over here, guys? What's happening here?
This was the best negative print, as they say in the trade, for GDP I have ever seen in my life. It really should be very positive news for America.
All you have to do is strip out the negative effects from a surge in imports, click your heels 3 times, bada bing, bada boom, the US economy grew by 3%. You know, I don't think you get to take the bad numbers out, right, to get a better result. That's not how it works.
That's valid.
You know, a lot of people feel that the American economy and American society is becoming more like China, and Peter Navarro is going a fair way towards making that happen. Made up statistics. You know, John, I just don't know what to say. Can't make heads or tails of that.
And when it comes to possible shortages in stores because of the Trump's tariff-mageddon, as well as higher prices for US consumers, President Trump seemed kind of dismissive about all of that. Here he is.
Somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally.
There's a couple of things there, but I just want to get your reaction. Did that comment sound totally and completely out of touch to you?
It sounded flippant. It's Trump's take on something that has been said in more coherent ways by some others in the administration, and particularly in Trump 1. Bob Lighthizer, the former USTR, was a big fan of, look, we don't need more cheap stuff. You can argue that. You can argue that, we don't need 30 dolls that are going to go into landfills. But I think what the president's doing there is a little bit disingenuous, because he's trying to sort of, with a wave of the hand, make light of something that really isn't going to be about dolls. It's going to be about cars and about factories and whether they can stay open and get their inputs. It's about rare earth minerals and whether we're going to be able to actually have a clean energy revolution in this country. So, I think he's trying to have a little bit both ways there.
I mean, not really. He's not really pushing for your specific, ideologies, talking points, let's say. He's not. He's just not doing that. But I hear you.
Country. So, I think he's trying to have a little bit both ways there.
He did seem to acknowledge that prices are going up because
They
of
are.
tariffs, and that does seem to be an achievement. But they're going up not by a couple of bucks, they're going up by a lot of bucks. And there also seems to be kind of a tacit acknowledgement, if you like, that things just aren't really going according to plan.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think that it's hard for the president at this stage to argue that, hey, it's all sunshine and roses. I mean, we haven't had 100 days that's been this devastating for the market in, almost 100 years. So I think he's trying to find some way to square this circle. But the truth of the matter is there's more pain coming. Tariffs take effect slowly, and we don't seem to have any clear deals in place. Whether or not that happens in the summer, who's to say?
It will.
What we are seeing is hoarding, inventory hoarding, which has
Of
the
course.
effect of actually driving inflation up.
Driving the
because
price
people don't know
up,
if they're
supply
gonna
and
be able to get
demand.
things tomorrow.
Yeah.
And again, I think that you can see in the poll numbers that this president has got some of the worst numbers for a sitting president at this stage than we've seen in 100 years.
We are seeing.
Okay, guys, it's so interesting when you do send me videos from CNN, because it's such a different type of thing. Like you can smell. How do I explain it? Like you can almost taste the hatred coming from this network. You can taste it. So like regardless of anything, you just hate the man. That's what it felt like listening to this last woman speak here. I also want to point out how gentle the men feel. So I like that. I guess. Guys, either way, let me get kind of back on topic here. I don't know how an American sweatshop's going to work, right? It's just going to be expensive. I mean, all of this is just going to be expensive, guys. Now, actually sitting down and actually listening to kind of this standpoint, I can see how the Chinese specifically are going to be, kind of built for this a little bit better than we are. So I married a woman from outside of the United States of America, and she regularly kind of points out that, Americans haven't been through anything. They haven't been through anything in a really long time, and it shows, right? A lot of it is just overall complacency. There are old stories of a boy having a super easy life, right? He becomes weak, and then a boy having a harder life, he becomes strong. You get what I mean here, guys? I think what she's trying to point out in the sense here is that we're not as strong as we actually were, let's say in the 50s. We weren't. We were just not. I mean, look at what we had just recently gone through coming out of WW2 versus them, right? Who have been pretty much accustomed, let's say, at times at least, to getting ready to go through hard times. We have not seen hard times in a really long time. Like a really, really, really long time. Like in my lifetime, I have never had any hard times. Right? In my life, and I'm 38. Right? No hard time. I had zero hard times ever, guys. So I can imagine how things, trying to be nice. Got to be very calculative in this instance here. But it is definitely really, really, really important that we do understand that the times are going to get harder, guys. They have to by all default. And when we come out of this hardship, things are going to be better. It's going to make us stronger, as a culture. We're not going to allow specifically other countries to consistently tariff us while not accepting tariffs on them. Let's no longer do that. How about we stop giving money away like it's not expensive to live here? All right. Like, I think when all Americans are basically good, we can then say, you know what, let's go ahead and, I don't know, give money to a random country for no reason and expect nothing back. Let's do that then. Let's see. But all right, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.